Thank you so much for being here today. As we move through our practice, please do support your body. You can always adjust the shapes that I'm suggesting. You can take things up a notch. You can take things down a notch. You can find child's pose or rest poses. They're all here. They're all options. So please do move like yourself as we move in these next 45 minutes. Today in our practice, I wanted us to start with a specific mudra. So mudras are hand shapes. They're yoga for your hands, really and truly. And so we're going to take this specific mudra called Hakini mudra. So Hakini mudra, you take all the 10 fingers, all your 10 fingers. How many fingers do we have? 10. All 10 fingers, and you touch the fingertips together and you let the palms spread out and spread away from each other. So it's very similar to our Anjali mudra, except the arms and the hands are all spread apart. That Hakini mudra can come right to our heart. So Hakini mudra, and the purpose, the energetic purpose of this mudra, this hand shape, is to help create connection between the right and left sides of the brain. We have all of these nerve endings at our fingertips. As we draw the fingertips together, we kind of complete that energetic and electric circuit between the fingers, up the arms, across the head, and back down the other arm. And it helps us balance the right and left hemispheres of our brain, which means that we can move and think just a little quicker than usual. So we're going to bring those fingertips together. You can close your eyes. And let's take a deep inhale through the nose and a full exhale through the mouth. Breath in through nose and exhale through mouth. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. We'll start to breathe in and out through the nose. And see here if you can make it feel that there's no gap between the inhale and the exhale, and no gap between the exhale and the inhale. We call this circular breathing. Maybe you even envision a circle in your mind's eye, and you see that breath traveling on the circle, up on the inhale, down on the exhale, no breaks in between. And so just in the same way that we linked our fingers together to link our two hemispheres of our brain together, we're now linking our breath together, inhaling and exhaling. So we feel the energy moving smoothly, steadily, without stopping. And in that way, with this sense of smoothness, it's as if we feel the mind start to clear. There's not so much friction. We can feel an ease. The mind starts to calm. As if you were just traveling down a river, right? The smoothest river, just a subtle current taking you forward. We're going to aim to find some of that same smoothness in our movements today, to making sure that our breath doesn't get stuck, even if we're in more difficult shapes. But instead, as we move the body, the breath stays at this constant. The energy continues to flow. So in your next inhale, let's take the arms apart, reach the hands up to the sky, pull up through the fingertips, feel the tailbone drop so you're getting longer through the back body, full inhale. And on your exhale, twist to the right. Left hand to the right knee, right hand comes behind, and your gaze can start to come over your right shoulder. And you feel tailbone drop, crown of the head lift. Not trying to force anything here, but maybe you feel that each vertebrae, starting at the base of the tailbone, each vertebrae is rotating just as much as it can. Rotating, rotating, rotating all the way up the spine, all the way till you get to the crown of the head. And you're going to keep your left hand where it is. Your right hand is going to reach up into the sky and reach up and over to the left. So this becomes this twist, side stretch hybrid. So you gently pull on the left hand and reach through the right. One more inhale. And one more exhale. Right hand, drop it down to your left knee. So now your arms are crossed. You pull the shoulders back. So round the back body, tuck the chin. Take an inhale. And exhale. And release the arms, reach the hands up to sky, full breath in. Twist to the left on the exhale. Gently pull on the left knee. Right hand is behind you. Left hand is behind you. And you're going to gaze over the left shoulder. And notice what's happening with the chin and the neck. So it's very common here to start lifting the chin up, to feel like you're reaching up through the nose, or to tuck the chin a lot and create some tension in the neck. Can you feel like your chin is exactly parallel to the ground? There's no pull up or down, just directly to the side. You're going to keep right hand where it is. Left hand reaches up and over to the right. So you're pulling in two directions. You gently pull on the left knee to create the twist. You reach out through the left hand to create the side stretch. Continue to breathe. And then the left hand comes down to the right knee. Take a rounding through the spine. Tuck the chin. Feel that space through the back body. Your next inhale, release the arms, shake out the hands, and let's come onto hands and knees. We're going to come to tabletop pose. So we create our strong tabletop, hands directly underneath shoulders, knees directly underneath hips. See if you can feel the tailbone pull a bit to the back of the room. You might feel the belly draw in ever so slightly so that there's a little more of a straight, strong back here. And think about this length from crown of the head to tailbone. And then just extend the left leg back behind you, ball of the foot on the mat. So we stretch out through the calf, reach out through the crown of the head. Pull back through the heel. Take an inhale and an exhale. Lift this left foot into the sky. Move the left foot over to the right so you cross the legs behind you and place the foot on the ground now way over to the right side of the mat. And you're going to pull that left heel back and reach the head forward. Maybe you start to stick the hips a bit out to the left. You feel stretch through the left side body. So we move left and right sides. Balancing first one side, then the other. We go this way, then that way, back and forth, front and back, so that we know where center is. Return back to center, left knee down to the ground, and we're going to do our second side. So, right foot steps straight back, pull through the heel, reach the crown of the head forward. Can you stay engaged through the back body so the hips aren't just like, the belly's not just dropping, the hips aren't just lifting. There's a strength here as you press into the hands, as you pull the right heel back. And then the right foot lifts to sky, reaches over to the left, and then you pull that right heel back in space. You can move the weight a little bit over to the right. You feel the right hip move to the right. You feel a little side stretch. Maybe your gaze comes over your left shoulder so you can look at your left foot. That might also intensify the stretch for you. Moving through right and left. Take another breath. And then you're going to come back to center, knees down to the ground. Now, lengthen your stance a bit here. Take the knees back a few inches. The hands will come forward a few inches. Because I want you to feel like you can lean forward into more of a plank-like shape. So with my knees on the ground, I want to feel like I have one long line from crown of the head to the knees. So there's some nice strength here. I might already feel some weight coming into the hands. Take a moment to draw the shoulders away from the ears to find some length through the sides of the neck. I know there might be some activity going on in the belly. Take a deep breath. And then on your exhale, shift the hips back towards child. So in child's pose, hips draw back, arms are long. Keep the hands where they were on the earth though, so not shifting the knees and hands away from each other or towards each other. But just take this moment to shift the hips back to find some length through the arms. And then on your inhale, gaze forward, draw the body forward again, re-find that plank pose. A little drop into the hips so that you can find this length through the back body. Inhale. On the exhale, child's pose, take it back. Find length through the underside of the arms. A little rounding through the back body. And last time, come forward. High plank or this half plank with the knees on the ground. Feel the crown of the head reach forward. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Keep breathing. This is the inhale. Now what we're going to aim to do here is bend the elbows straight backward. So not out to the sides, but gaze down at your elbows. See the inside soft parts of the elbows. Look forward. And then bend the elbows back to lower the belly all the way onto the ground. Once you get onto the ground, roll the shoulders back. Draw the elbows closer together. So when you do that, when the shoulders draw back, when the elbows draw closer together, you might already feel the heart start to lift up a bit. And then keep pulling the elbows back to lift the heart and head off of the mat. It's called baby cobra, baby bhujangasana. You do a little press into the toes, pull the elbows back, pull the ears away from the shoulders. Crown of the head reaching forward. This is the inhale. And on the exhale, lower. Let's do that 2 more times. Baby cobra. Roll the shoulders back. Draw the elbows back. Space from ears to shoulders. Press into the toes. And then exhale to lower. One last time. Roll the shoulders back. Draw the elbows back. Press into all 10 toes. Lifting of the heart. Let's try one extra thing here. While we're lifted, first, keep breathing. But second, maybe you lift the hands off of the mat for a moment. Just to see how that feels, to feel the back body holding you. And then you can return the hands to ground, lower the head down, and then let's press up to hands and knees. So press into the hands. Come into hands and knees. Your tabletop, you'll draw the knees a little closer to the hands. And let's take a cow pose. So belly will drop, shoulders draw back, gaze draws forward. And then on the exhale, round the spine, pull up through the belly button, tuck the chin. Inhale, belly drops, shoulders back. And exhale, round, round, round. One more time, belly drops, inhale. Spine rounds, exhale. Neutral spine on your in. And then we're going to step the right foot forward. So you can step that right foot forward between the hands. If it makes sense for you to do it to the outside of the hands instead, that's also fine. So you just step that left foot forward in between the hands. And then let's lift the hands into sky, coming to our low lunge. Now, what you want to feel here, right knee on top of the right ankle. You don't want that knee way far forward. You want to feel it right on top. So if you need to move your right foot forward more, do it. And then once I'm here, I want to think like I'm drawing the right foot back and I'm drawing the left knee forward. So right foot back, left knee forward. Feel like you're engaging them together. Notice how that wakes up the inner thighs and your hips. Reach up through the front body, reach up through the crown of the head. And then on the exhale, hands down to the ground. Tuck the left toes. Lift the left knee off of the mat. And then on your exhale, step the foot forward. You can always take a few steps to get there. So we find our forward fold Uttanasana. At that forward fold, put a good bend into the knees. Like really, really, really start to bend the knees so that you can feel the chest drop and the head relax. You might even feel connection between the chest and the thighs. And that's a great indication that you're in a place where the hamstrings aren't overworking and that you can really let the spine relax. Hang here for another breath. And an exhale. We're going to do some half sun salutations. So let's begin by taking the hands to the shins, extending the spine long, find length here. Roll the shoulders back, pull the tailbone back. On the exhale, fold. Let's try that a second time. Halfway lift, hands to shins. Roll the shoulders back, pull the tailbone back, the crown of the head's reaching forward. Exhale to fold. Last one, halfway lift. Tailbone comes back, belly draws even a little bit in and up. Exhale, fold. This time, bend the knees and then round the upper back to come all the way up to stand. When you come up to stand, straighten the legs and we reach the hands up into the sky. Hands reach on your inhale. On the exhale, hands to heart. Arms up, in. On the exhale, bend the knees, fold all the way forward. Halfway lift on the inhale, hands to shins, extend the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale to come up to stand, reach all the way up, inhale. Hands to heart, exhale. Arms up, inhale. Exhale, fold all the way forward, lean the body forward, and then round as you come down. Halfway lift for length, inhale. Roll the shoulders back, fold forward, exhale. Inhale, up to stand, reach the arms wide, lift all the way up. Hands to heart, exhale. Inhale to lift. Exhale, fold forward. Feel that circular breathing, halfway lift, inhale, no gap between inhale and exhale. Fold on your exhale. Inhale, up to stand, reach all the way. Hands to heart, exhale. Arms lift, inhale. Exhale, fold all the way down. This is our last round. Halfway lift, in. Fold on the out. Up to stand, reach tall. Hands to heart on your exhale. This time, hands come down by the sides to find your Tadasana pose, mountain pose. So, give a little wiggle in the knees. Take a check out of your feet. Make sure they're hips width distance, outer edges of your feet parallel. Put a teensy bend into the knees to feel the tailbone drop, to feel the lift up through the belly, palms by the sides. Chin once again parallel to the ground. You breathe here. Feel the stability and the evenness between right and left and between forward and back. Maybe you even rock a little right and left and forward and back to find that sense of balance. Right? So fascinating that many of us very often are leaning off to one side and don't even realize it. So let's see what it feels like when the weight is even between left and right. Right? It was a huge aha moment for me when I realized I got way less fatigued when I used both feet rather than always standing on one leg. So you find that centered place. See what balance feels like, right? We need to know what balance looks like, what it feels like, so that we can find it again. Really nice. Your next inhale, let's lift the hands to sky. On the exhale, bend the knees, come all the way forward to fold. Halfway lift, inhale. And then on your exhale, we're gonna step the right foot back. Take the right knee down to the ground, and we're gonna draw the hands forward and up for our low lunge. Once again, check out what's going on with your left knee. You wanna make sure that the knee is right on top of the ankle, not coming forward of the toes. And once you find this stability, feel like you're pulling the left leg back, drawing the right knee forward. So pull those feet towards each other and really feel that engagement in the inner thighs and the legs, right? You might find like, oh, it creates a little tension in the low body. So can you still keep the breath moving? Inhale and exhale. Another in. On the exhale, hands down to the ground. Let's step the left foot back to find hands and knees. And you're going to be in this longer stance once again. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go straight into a high plank. So what high plank is, it's that high push-up position. You're going to pull the knees off of the ground, pulling the heels back. Now, if you need to stay with knees on the ground, no problem. But otherwise, find that push-up. We're here just for a moment. What I want you to make sure of is that the shoulders are directly on top of the wrists when you pull the heels back in space. So when you have the body completely flat, heels pull back, shoulders are on top of the wrists, this is the place to be. And then on the exhale, pull the hips up to the sky, way up and back. Keep the hands and feet as they are. It might feel longer than you want it to or shorter than you want it to, but feel this place here. Now this is our downward facing dog, so put a little bend into the knees, press into the hands, and feel the hips moving up and back in space. Take a breath in, take a breath out. An inhale and an exhale. We're going to take the knees down to the ground. Whew, good work. Take the body forward, finding that half plank position. Inhale. On the exhale, elbows bend backwards, lower all the way down to the body. Baby cobra. Inhale. Lower. Exhale. We're going to take a slightly different variation here. So we're going to take the hands wide. So the hands will come off of the mat, elbows directly into the sky. My fingertips are what are on the ground. So fingertips on the ground, hands wider so that the elbows are right on top of the wrists when I'm out, like at this 90-degree angle to my body. And I press into the fingertips and lift the heart. So it just feels a little different. You get a little more into the shoulders. Feel the shoulder blades draw together. The gaze might start to come more forward. You might lift a little bit higher, but please take care of your back body. You go only as high as you can still breathe and that you don't feel any pinching. And we take another breath. On the exhale, lower down. One more time, press into the fingers, lift the heart, and then we're going to just dip the right shoulder forward. So dip the right shoulder forward, gaze comes over the left shoulder, feel a little stretch in the inside of the right arm. Back up to center, inhale. Dip the left shoulder. Center, inhale. Dip right. Center in. Dip left. Center on the inhale. One more time each side. Right hand dips forward. You exhale. Center on the in. And then left shoulder. Exhale. Center on the in. Take a breath. Exhale to lower all the way down. Draw the hands next to the shoulders or next to the rib cage underneath the shoulders. Press up to hands and knees. Press back to child's pose, rounding the spine, tucking the chin. Feel the stretch now through the back body. So we were just in spinal extension, right? As we had that little back bend of being in that baby cobra shape. And then we take it into flexion. We round the spine. We move the opposite direction. So we move right, we move left, we move forward, we move back, so that we know what center feels like. We're going to move through hands and knees on the next inhale. Come on forward. Let's tuck the toes, downward facing dog. For the second time, lift the hips up to sky. Now you want your feet hips width distance, maybe even a little wider. The fingertips point straight forward. The palms are strong on the earth. Nod the head a little yes, shake the head a little no. And then press the hands forward and feel the hips move back in space. Take another breath and an exhale. Start to walk the feet forward. Walk, 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 walk forward. We find the front of our mats as we fold here. Again, a little bend in the knees is fabulous. Put feet hips width distance. Weight moving forward to the toes to feel the back body release. And then we're going to round the spine, come all the way up to stand. Shoulders go up, back, and down. Hands reach up to sky. Okay, hands come to heart. I'm going to do a little balancing here. So we're going to start with standing on our left foot. So you're going to stand on your left foot. You're going to feel the weight draw a little bit over to the left and start to lift the right knee into the chest. Now you might find it's more helpful for you to hold on to your shin or hold on to your knee. Can provide a little bit of extra support here. Another option is to even hold on to clasp your fingers underneath the thigh, and you can kind of drop the thigh into the hands. So see what works best for you, whether it's holding onto the shin or holding on underneath the thigh. And supporting this balance here. If you need a wall, use a wall. And if you're like, oh my gosh, this feels so wobbly, I can't do this, put a little bend into the left knee. Okay? Because you want to actually turn on and use the muscles of your standing leg, not just being straight and brittle and then feel really stuck. So put a little bend in that left knee as you hold the right knee up. Take another breath. Take another exhale. Let's see if we can keep the leg floating. So unwind the hands. Maybe hands come to your hips. And keep that leg floating. One more breath. Foot comes down to ground. Okay, shake, shake, shake. Let's do our second side. So you're going to stand on your right foot. We're going to lift the left knee into the chest. So again, you might be holding on to the calf or the knee, or wrapping the hands underneath the thigh and feeling the thigh drop into the hands. See what works best for you. Perhaps a little bend in the right knee so that you can feel the muscle stability here. And then the work, besides just staying here, is to breathe. And to say, you know what, I'm not going to shut down the energy flow of the body just because things are a little difficult. I can stay with what is happening right here. I can breathe with what is happening right here. Okay. Last little bit of challenge. Perhaps you release the leg, keep it floating, hands at the hips, take a deep breath. And then take the foot down to ground. Shake, 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 shake. Okay. We're going to come down onto our backs. So, kind of lay down on your mat. All the way down. Feet are going to be on the ground. Knees are going to be bent. Now, we want to bring the feet nice and close to the hips. So I like to think about having the heels underneath the knees. For some people, this means that their fingertips can just brush the heels. For other people, depends on the length of your arms, so that's not going to happen. That's okay too. But if you can imagine the feet underneath the knees, so that the feet aren't way out. They're pretty close drawn in. Then from here, press into the arms. So feel how the heart starts to lift a bit, the shoulder blades draw together, and then press into the feet, lift hips up into the sky. So it's called bridge pose. So press into the feet, find some length across the front body. Deep breath, and exhale. 2 more breaths. Feel the knees drawing forward, feel the chest drawing towards the face. Right, so you're creating length through the front body. 1 more inhale. And exhale, lower all the way down. Rock the knees side to side. And we're going to take 1 more round. So press into the feet, lift the hips into the sky. So engage the legs to lift the hips, press the arms down into the ground. There's length across the front body. The knees are drawing forward. The heart is drawing towards the face. You're so long through the front body. Right? Give a little wiggle in your toes so you're sure that not everything is in tension, that there's still some freedom in this shape, even though there's a lot of work in this shape too. Give a little wiggle in the toes. And then lower the hips all the way down. Nice. Knees, windshield wiper, side to side. And then coming back to center, let's take the feet wide on the mat and drop the knees in together. And then let's even take the arms wide here like a T, so that you just feel the heart open, the outer hips relaxing. And take 3 breaths. Just feeling the quiet of the back body on the earth. The joy of the circular breathing, the inhales moving to exhales, moving to inhales. And then slowly walk the feet closer to center. You're going to cross the right ankle on top of the left thigh and then press the right knee away from you. Now make sure those right toes are pulling towards the right knee, and you're going to lift the left foot off of the mat. Hands can wrap around the left thigh and you gently draw the left leg in towards you, feeling this big stretch through the right hip. And of course, you go only as far as your body needs to go, so you can always keep that left foot on the ground if that's better for you. And the big thing that I'm going to invite is that you soften the shoulders and the head and the neck so that the low body is stretching, but the upper body has some ease to it. You feel the softness of the back body. And take 2 breaths. Slowly release the left foot down to the ground. The right foot down as well. We're going to do our second side. Left foot crosses over the right. Press the knee away. Flex the left foot. And then lift the right knee on the right foot into the sky. Wrap the hands around the right leg. Draw the shoulder down as you draw the leg in. Softness here in the back body. And see what it's like to notice the breath in this shape. Right? Notice if the qualities of the breath have changed. What can you do to bring yourself back to that smooth river flowing? One more inhale. On the exhale, take the foot down to the ground. Take left foot down to the ground as well. And have the feet wide on your mat. So knees are still bent, feet are wide. Let's drop both the knees over to the right. So just drop the knees over to the right and gaze over the left shoulder. Maybe your left arm comes out long to the left. Let's see if you can feel and notice this twist from the base of the tailbone all the way up through the spine. Feeling each vertebrae turn on the other. You feel the stretch, the length, the movement right here. For 2 breaths. Then gently draw the body back to center. And take both knees over to the left. Gaze comes over the right shoulder. You feel the length through the right side body. Maybe you notice some differences between the right and left. Just great information for you. And then they come back to center. Both knees come back to center. Let's hug the knees into the chest. Let's take this moment to stretch out the back body. And then from here, lift the feet straight up into the sky. It's okay if you have a little bend in your knees. And what we're aiming to find is that the heels are on top of the hips. So not needing to draw them in super close, but let the heels be on top of the hips. Give the feet a little wiggle, maybe even some little circles in the ankles. Just letting any extra fluid drain out of the lower body. You feel a little heavy in the hips. Soften those legs. You can take the arms down by the sides and just rock the feet just a few inches to the right. You feel just a little weight into the hip. And you come back to center. A few inches to the left. And you come back to center. 2 more times, right to the right, and center, and left, and center. Move your breath with it. Do a little exhale over right. Inhale to center. Exhale left. Inhale center. Pause here. Take a big inhale through the nose. Full exhale through the mouth. Knees bend. And take the legs long down the mat, finding your Shavasana shape, the final rest. Shoulders tucked underneath you, palms face up. Eyes can be closed. And just noticing the sensations in the body right here. What do you feel after our practice today? And set the intention of here moving the energy with your breath. As if the breath, as you breathe it in, if it's kind of pushing the energy to circulate through the body, which is exactly what is happening with your breath flow relating to your heartbeat and moving the oxygen and nutrients through your veins. And can you tap into that constant river flow that is already in your body? Noticing how the energy was moving all along. Now you're just witnessing it. Now you're just aware of it. Be here for about 5 more breaths. Just keep the attention here in the body. Take an inhale and exhale. Bring some movement to fingers and to toes. And bend the knees to walk the feet to the hips, drawing the feet in. Roll over onto your right side and then press into your hands to come up to a seated position. Your seat, you can have your legs crossed, hands pressing together at the heart. Let's actually bring it into that Hakini Mudra again. The fingertips together, the palms wide. And we'll draw in that circular breathing, the inhale and exhale connected to each other. You feel that circuit of energy down the arms, across the hands. Maybe a little more aware of the energy flowing through the body right here. Checking in for a moment, asking yourself, what is it that you need? What is the most important thing for you to do today to feel at your best, to feel most connected to yourself? Just the number one thing. We know there's a number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8, but let's start with number 1. Let's commit to that action, to move ourselves forward a small step at a time towards being connected, authentic, engaged with our lives more often. We'll press the palms together. The light in me very humbly bows to that same light in each one of you. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Bring the thumbs to the center of the forehead. We bow together. We say Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. These practices are offered by donation. If you feel called to contribute, you can go to Venmo. I am at Samantha-Attard. That information is over on my Instagram profile as well as on my website. The replays of these classes are going up. It just takes a couple days. spiralcollective.com/videos if you'd like to check it out. And we have classes going all week. Prenatal yoga on Saturdays. Sunday is 7 p.m. yin yoga to move nice and slow, to stretch deeply. Tuesday is intermediate vinyasa at 5 p.m. and then meditation on Thursdays at 7 p.m. All the information is both on my website as well as here on Instagram. Thank you so much for practicing.